Hello, my name is Alex Haigh, and today I'm going to talk to you about the top 3 neighborhoods that I would advise you take a look at if you're thinking about living in Stuart, Florida. Alright, every day we have people moving to Stuart, Florida, and when people arrive, they kind of ask us, what are the neighborhoods that you suggest living in? And these are my top 3, kind of based on price points. Alright, so the first neighborhood that you want to check out when you come to Stuart, Florida is Sewell's Point. Now, Sewell's Point is a peninsula that comes down, i.e. the point. And on the perimeter of that, you have on one side, actually the west side is deep water for yachts. Large mansions are there, so you have deep water for the big boats. And on the east side, it's a little more shallow, but you can get boats in there as well. So one of the really cool things about Sewell's Point is that you have a lot of money, a lot of prestige that surrounds on that point. But then on the interior, you really have these smaller single-family homes, and it really has a really unique feel as you go through. So you'll have some opulence, and then you'll have kind of a non-assuming single-family home on the interior. So one of the main reasons that people live in Sewell's Point is its close proximity to the beach and its close proximity to downtown Stuart. It's going to be about 5 to 7 minutes from the beach, 5 to 7 minutes to downtown Stuart. Now, also, Sewell's Point is known for how secure it is. It almost feels like you're living in a gated community without living in a gated community. They actually have their own little police force there. So it kind of has a real community feel to it, and that's another reason that people love to live in Sewell's Point. Now, you're going to ask about prices. The average single-family home as of press right now, you're looking at about $550,000 for the average, because remember, the average is taking in those McMansions and also the small single-family homes. Now, the average 2-bedroom home in Sewell's Point, they're going to be a little tougher to find, actually, but they're in there. You might find something for around $350,000 to $425,000, depending on how hard you look. Now, if you're looking to rent in Sewell's Point, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but they are out there. For the high rent, you're talking, you can go up into the tens of thousands, because remember, you're looking at mansions on the water. I would say that the average of what you're going to find for rent in Sewell's Point is probably going to be around $3,500 to $4,000. Now, depending on if it's season or not, seasonal rentals are going to be higher. Now, the second neighborhood that I'm going to recommend checking out if you want to live in Stuart, Florida is downtown Stuart, or as we call it, historic downtown Stuart. The reason that I'm going to recommend checking that out is its close proximity to downtown Stuart, literally your walking distance, biking distance. It also has a very kind of cool feel where you'll have a 1929 house, which is historic, next to a new modern house that's right next door to it. So you really kind of get this interesting architectural feel with proper sidewalks, lights on the side of the street, so it really feels like a neighborhood. Now, a couple of the reasons that you would want to check out the historic downtown Stuart area would be, again, back to its ease of use, right? So you're going to be able to walk right to those restaurants, barbershop, the little boutique. There's live music happening every weekend. You can get on your bike or literally walk to that. So really that downtown feel without the congestion, because it's separate. So there's small streets that are in there. Really the only body that's going into downtown Stuart are people that actually live there. So you're not going to get a lot of through traffic. And that's why I would recommend checking out historic downtown Stuart. Now, if you're thinking about buying in historic downtown Stuart, the price point is going to be around probably $600,000. You can find something for $400,000, these little kind of tinier homes, but it's going to be probably around that $600,000 mark, and you can have $1 million plus. Now, if you're thinking about renting in downtown Stuart, you can find these kind of efficiency apartments. They'll come up and they'll be around $2,000. $1,500 if you're lucky, but your average in downtown Stuart is going to be around $2,700 to $3,000. All right, so the third neighborhood that I'm going to talk about here, if you're thinking about moving to Stuart, Florida, is Rocky Point. The reason I bring up Rocky Point is it kind of has the best of all worlds. Rocky Point has a perimeter, ocean access homes. On the interior, there's only one way in and one way out, so you don't have a lot of through traffic. So your kids can ride their bikes, you can go for walks, you can ride your bike, you can ride golf carts around in there. All right, so let's talk about prices in Rocky Point. Now, the average median sale price for a home in Rocky Point is around $425,000. Now, you can find some homes for the $325,000, but you're going to be looking about an average of probably $425,000, and you can go up from there again, because remember, the perimeter has those McMansions that are going to be a little higher in price. Now, if you're looking to rent in Rocky Point, all of Stuart has a kind of an entry-level price point for rentals. you're going to be looking at least probably $2,000. You might be more around $2,250. It just depends. You might be able to grab something for $1,800, but look to be around $2,000 if you're thinking to rent in Rocky Point. Well, I hope this video gave you some great information if you're thinking about moving to Stuart, Florida, and you're thinking about what neighborhood I might move into. Please click the link above if you want more information, or you can go to my website, thehaighgroup.com, and click for more information, and we'll get right to you and get you some information on all the great reasons to live in Stuart, Florida. And again, thanks for watching. This is Alex Haigh with Haigh Today with eXp Realty at the Haigh Group of the Treasure Coast. Thank you so much.